Hey, how you doing? It's a spooky start to a spooky show. How the devil is everybody doing? Welcome back to Painting Up the Monster Manual here on a Dragonborn Industries. Miss Lounge, good morning. Hello. How are you? I hope everyone is alright. Richard, how are you today?
As well as can be today on this sort of rather hot day down here in Worthing. Ready for some painting and some fun.
Yeah, it's kind of humid and damp where we are, but we've got coast on all sides of us, so it is what it is there. I'm trying to get this camera to damn focus down here. I would like you to work. Miss Lounge, yeah, I'm alright, thank you. I'm a bit tired, but I've had a good few days. I got to meet one of our moderators yesterday. I got to meet Geeky Phoenix, awesome dude. Came down as he was in the local area, and I was like, hey, let's meet up. And we've talked some stuff, and yeah, it was really nice. So hopefully I'll get to meet all the moderators and all the different people that you were all out there at some point. And maybe I'll meet Richard one day.
One day.
But, Richard, who are you? Where can people find you? And what are you going to be painting this week?
Well, I am Richard from Warrior Prince 3D. We are your one-stop shop for anything tabletop, scenery, or even cosplay or collectibles. I am an all 3D printing company based down in Worthing. And again, print anything from little miniatures to bigger collectibles. You know, if you much prefer painting the bigger things like I do. And to even, as I said, cosplay pieces, collectibles, statues, we do everything. You can find me on Instagram, Etsy, Facebook, somewhere randomly down the street trying to peddle my wares, and, you know, generally everywhere. Today, we are painting the Banshees. So my Banshee is from RM Printable.
There they are. There they are. Good morning, Hagley. How are you?
This is one of the first Kickstarters I ever sort of backed when I first started printing. I found the whole set rather lovely, and it is especially good for the undead campaigns. Lots of ruins, lots of dead bits and pieces, and lots of fun indeed.
I adore that mini. That looks so good.
On that picture, my mini is the far left one, and
nice.
She will be the painting subject again.
Awesome. Good morning, Coriant1, How are you today? I am going to be painting up. This is the WizKids Banshee that comes in the Ghost in the Banshee pack. This is an Alls's WizKids, nice and cheap, £4 for the pack, and you get like the Ghost in the Banshee in there. And I'm going to take this little bit off the base. I'm just going to rip that right off. Get rid of that little plastic bit there. Might have to get some pliers on that because I'm not as strong as I thought I was. That's all good. It's not bad because I want rid of it because I've not primed this mini. Hello, Dibs. How are you? Good to see you. Nice to see everybody in chat. I'm just going to grab something to pry that off with there because I'm going to apply the Banshee to there it is, a different 3D printed base because I wanted to do something different with this one, and yeah, I thought this would be quite a nice one because I'm not going to be using paint today for the mini. I might do for the base, I don't know yet.
Surely not, Ian, that is the whole purpose of our show. Well,
I'll use some paint for the base. That'll be fine. I am going to have to grab some pliers or something to rip this off because I'm just too weak. Strength is my dump stat. I will point that out to everybody right now. Like, my wife, who is an absolute dwarven barbarian, is the strength in our relationship. I am your standard bard. As he tries to pull that bit off. Wow. JD Weicker, if you're watching, please make this easier to take off. But, crayons! Hagley says crayons. We're going to paint with crayons. Well, I'm relatively impressed that I can't get that off there. Do I have a knife up here? Come on, guys. This is the whole entertainment of the show now, is me watching me fail at strength checks. This is going to be it now. I do have a knife. Look at that. Perfect. And there's a reason I want to take all of this off, and there's a reason I'm wearing gloves. Because I just don't want it. Say goodbye to my fingers. There it goes. Look! I've cut it right off that little plastic base. Right there. And that's all I want. Roll for strength. Corianti, I've got no strength, buddy. No strength whatsoever. It is my dump stat. It is a nat 1 when I rolled it. I reckon I would have rolled all, like, 4 ones and then taken away the lowest being a 1. I have a strength modifier of -6, is it, for a 3?
Yeah, -6.
Yeah, I think I'm about there. And, whew, I just put it all into Constitution and keep surviving. Right. I'm all sweaty from doing a bit of manual labour there. We are looking this week at the Banshee. The Banshee is an undead entity, and I think they are probably one of the hardest below CR5 creatures that you can face. So Richard, as long as have you got a level 3 character set up and ready to go?
I have a level 3 character set up, but it's a horrific fucking thing to be fighting.
You may grab 2, not wondrous, not rare. You can grab 2 mediocre, so common or slightly up, magic items. You don't need to tell me what they are, but I will at least level the playing field for you here, because you could die in 1 turn.
Yeah, I know.
So for those of you who don't know, the Banshee is probably one of the worst ghosts that you can face. And although we're going to be painting today, obviously we like to try and do a combat while we do this at the same time. It is a CR4, so actually for an average party of level 3, it's a hard fight. It's a very hard fight, but it should be one they could do. But Richard is 1 level 3 character on his own, and this is going to be an example of why you shouldn't throw higher CR stuff at like really small parties and stuff, because the Banshee in particular, and I'm going to pre-warn you now, I am going to be starting the combat with this, has an ability called Wail, where once a day, they can basically kill you. If you do not pass that Constitution saving throw, you are dead. That's it. Character gone, no death saves, fucking... You're out of there, buddy! They are awful. They are really, really bad. But they do make for some fantastic RP, and they make for some fantastic dungeon bosses, because not only are they rich in lore throughout D&D, they are scary. And just to tell the story and like have some spooky music on in the background, just to see this like elven figure of like wispy hair and tattered clothes who can't admit to any wrongdoing in their life, that are trapped in this immortal form of this Banshee. Oh, they are amazing. And they collect fine art and coins and any kind of like things of beauty, and yeah, it's just an amazing dungeon to have these as a boss in. So yeah, as long as you are ready to go, Richard, and you let me know when you are ready.
I'm just choosing a magic item,
and I will turn off Pokemon Go after checking that these aren't shinies.
It's got to be done.
Oh,
my little boy within 5 minutes bagged himself 2 shinies at the bloody rest stop yesterday.
Nice. I got a shiny Zigzagoon yesterday, and I was pretty excited about it. My wife, on the other hand, is just knocking them out of the park. And yeah, while you get your magic items there, I'm going to set a timer for an hour. I don't think this combat's going to take an hour. I think this is going to be one of those ones where, unfortunately, it's going to be down to the dice rolls. And this, I guess, is what D&D is all about for you guys out there. And I know this is a paint show, but also we want to showcase how dangerous a monster can be, or how good they can be for storytelling. And yeah, this is just one of those ones where it can go either way, and the dice are quite literally going to let us know what's going to happen here. And I think if you're a dungeon master or a games master who maybe wants to tell a story with this creature, don't have them fight it. Unless they really push for it, because it will kill their characters if they fail those rolls. So, I have 2 things there.
I've just gone for a magic weapon, and I've left it at that.
So you left it at a magic weapon. Okay, so...
and Mithril Scale Mail.
Mithril Scale Mail, okay, not a problem. I'm going to grab my dice, because as a dice maker, I totally always have those on me.
Always.
Always, yeah, totally. And we will set the timer for an hour. Richard Dania, what is your character's name this week?
Trevor.
Trevor?
The Fire Genasi Ranger.
Fire Genasi Ranger. Roll initiative for me, bud. So how do you think you're going to paint this up?
So I'm going complete a bit experimental this week. So I've got a bit of Nighthawk Gloom, watered it down load, and Contrast Frostheart.
Oh.
And again watered it down.
Nice.
Going to go for attempting a little bit of mix and match and see what I can get blending wise.
So I'm going to be using inks. I'm going to be using some inks that I use for dice making. Hey, Fluffy! Sorry, we had to play Beyblades. Well, that's amazing. But we're going to set a scene for Richard. I'm shaking the mini here like it's a pot of ink. What am I doing with my life? Anyway, Richard, the Fire Ganassi... Trevor, the Fire Ganassi Ranger. You're out around the local town and you hear that somewhere an old manor house, maybe one that's been described to you as haunted in the past, or maybe it's like local legend, people have started going missing near it. And the village, the town, wherever it is that you're from, comes to you. Hello, herbalist. Happy, lucky lurking. And the village town comes to you and they are in desperate want. People's children are missing. People's husbands, wives who have gone anywhere near it recently are just not returning. And the village approach you to say, Trevor, please, you're the strongest and most capable tracker and survivalist in our town, and please, we will pay you any finder's fee that you want. Find the missing people. Find out what is going on in the manor up there, and
I will make my hand gesture of I will do it, and I will embark on my journey.
Okay, and you start making your way towards an older than the town itself. It's almost like maybe the town was built because of this manor being here, and you know exactly where it is. You don't need to make a survival check to get there or anything because it's local legend, and you make your way there, and it's weird. It's evening time, but it's getting darker than it should do. It's rapidly getting darker as you approach this building, and give me a perception check as you approach.
Okay, is this a visual perception check or?
Yes, it's a visual perception check.
Cool. There's a reason I ask is also.
Oh, there's a reason.
So, yeah. So, as a visual perception, I rolled a 17 minus 2 of 15.
15, okay. That's pretty good. So, as you approach, you see the manor house, you see all the ivy growing up around it, and it's like there are two big square areas to the building, and then there's like on the left and the right, and then there's like this like recess that goes back that leads to a single story area where there is obviously like an entranceway, and once you go into that it would lead off to the left and the right, but there's a balcony like of sorts, almost like a bridge that goes from one side to the other that's open, and you swear for a second you see somebody stood there, a lady with long hair, just whispering in like the wind as it like floats and moves, and like almost like it's underwater, and you blink and it's gone.
Okay, I sort of focus my eyes. They're the most, I've relied on them all my life and can't believe quite what I'm seeing, but I press forward and keep my eyes completely peeled everywhere around me, watching for any sort of movement and seeing what I sense.
Okay, are you travelling stealthy, or are you just making your way towards it?
I'm travelling stealthy.
Okay, then can you roll me a stealth check, please? And I'm going to roll something here to let the audience know. So, the Banshee has an ability where they can detect life. So this means that the Banshee can magically sense the presence of creatures up to 5 miles that aren't undead or constructs. She knows the direction they're in, but not their exact location. So I would say that knowing that you are within 5 miles, that I would give them an advantage on a perception check to try and see you.
No word of a lie. I've just checked because I thought I better check what my favourite enemy is as a ranger.
Nice.
And my random generator has made me a favourite enemy of undead.
Awesome. That is what you want. What was your stealth?
18 was my stealth check.
Okay. I rolled a nat 20.
Aren't you a little bitch?
But the wisdom stat is only an 11 on a Banshee, so they get +0 to this. So their stat block is very much like me. Their strength is a dump stat, it's a -5. Their dex is alright, it's a 14, so +2. Their con and their whiz are 0s. However, these beings, they have an intelligence of +1, so a 12, and a charisma of 17, which is +3. So we can see that dex and charisma are probably their best assets to them. But nothing happens as you approach. You believe that you are as stealthy as possible and doing the best that you can do. And you eventually make it to the small garden wall, and this wall's not been maintained in a long time, and you can see where maybe like children of the local area have like maybe dared each other to get closer to the building and stuff. And you can see where like there's like grass has been trodden down, and I think as a ranger it'd be quite easy for you to see that. Yet there is no sign of anybody else around. You believe you remain undetected?
I press forward towards the manor.
Okay, so do you hop the little wall? Do you find a gate?
I will hop the wall. I won't take an official entrance, as it were.
Okay, as you hop the wall and make it into the garden, you are met with an odd, strange sight. The garden is unkept, yet there are flowers still growing here. There are beautiful roses and colourful flowers that, in and amongst all of, like the thorns and the vines, really do add like an odd perspective of beauty. There's kind of like macabre kind of beauty to this area here. However, what is your passive perception and your passive investigation, please?
So my passive visual perception is awful. It's 8, and my passive, what was it? Investigation, you say?
Yes.
Or I lost sound. Speak up, in.
Yes, your passive investigation.
Beautiful shot. Everything went quiet then. 14 for investigation.
Okay, so with the 14 on the investigation, you don't see anybody moving around, but what you do see is boots. And it looks like just as you come over the wall, there is maybe a young adult, maybe an adolescent, teenager size shoes, human, sticking out of a bush. What would you like to do?
Checking what spells we've got.
So I'm just going to glue on now. So what I've done is I painted the base black and white, and then I will be gluing the clear mini to the base, and then I'm going to use some inks, 2 different shades, to colour the plastic.
So the boots that are sticking out,
Yeah.
are they sticking out as though attached to legs, or are they sticking out as though someone could be lying down?
Both. They are definitely attached to legs, but they are sort of face up. So if somebody was lying down, they'd be on their back. Just going to hit that with some accelerator just to hold it on there for now. And then I'll try and get the camera to focus in a bit more as I do the next step.
It reeks of trap to me, so is there a way I can sneak round and get a sight of the back of the bush, if that makes sense?
Yeah, it's because it's unkempt, it's going to be difficult terrain, but I think that being a ranger, you'd be quite well adversed in that. So just give me a acrobatics or athletics check. It's going to be a relatively low DC, just to make sure that your footing is all good.
21.
Yeah, you're absolutely fine. And you actually don't need to move far around the bush. There is a body in the bush. You can see now, like, there are some drag marks, but, like, you're unsure if they're not quite like the body has been dragged. Maybe they moved and they were, like, trying to, like, pull themselves backwards across the floor. And as you, like, look into the bush, where they were just trying to get some cover maybe, you see a young male, probably a farmer or somebody from the local village that you're looking for, and their face is... Their mouth is open, their jaw is slightly distended, it's like off to one side, their eyes are just open as wide as possible, but their skin is like drained of any colour, they are like pure white, and they are dead. You know this. You've seen dead bodies before, they're dead.
Can I use, obviously, I wouldn't be able to do this normally, but my favourite enemy being undead, does it scream to me as though something like that has been, necrotic magic has been used to...
I'd say give me an Arcana check, because I think undead fall more under the realm of Arcana than anything, but you can have advantage on it, or you can give me a history check with advantage.
So I'm just having a look here. Language choice spoken. So, a favoured enemy for a ranger, if anyone wanted to know. I have advantage on survival checks to track my favoured enemy, as well as intelligence checks to recall information of them. So,
Okay.
obviously, with the history check is what I will roll. I'm saying that advantage, but my first roll was a nat 20 for a 22.
Perfect. Yes. This screams.
My second roll was a nat 1.
Oh, I don't know if I should. No. So, yeah, obviously, this screams. And the scream is the thing that you think of.
Yeah.
Banshee. The mana. It all starts falling into place.
There
are other things that it could be. Ghosts can possess things, but that face, that contorted face.
The flash of memory, the burning sort of searing pain, and I raise a hand to one of my ears and then shake off the memory and take control of myself and press forward.
Okay, so I'm just going to try and sort out my camera for a second. So, you have an idea of what it could be, and with that, right, let's see if that will focus. Because we're about to move on to some ink now. So this is, again, this is Pinata. It is an alcohol ink that I use for dice making, and they're just fantastic things. But they're really, really good for clear plastic miniatures, because they really do showcase a... why aren't you focusing?
They do a beautiful colour to the depth, really.
Yeah, it really does. And then, I use a clear coat over the top of them, and it's a way to finalise the kind of sealing that in. There we go. Let's go with that. So,
I'm done.
You're done.
I'm done.
You've finished painting it already.
Yeah.
Awesome. That was 13 minutes and 9 seconds. That is the fastest we have ever painted a mini on this show. So for those of you watching, a Banshee can be done in 13 minutes to tabletop ready.
All it's got to do is dry.
So, I'm going to grab...
So what I did with this, I had like a bit of a weird idea with it, because I saw like a video pop on Instagram yesterday of using either contrast medium or watering down contrast paints.
Yes.
Like the really sort of lighter stuff. And it literally instantly made me think about the stream today and what I wanted to do. So, as I said, I got technical Nighthawk Gloom from Citadel and the contrast Frostheart from Citadel. I've literally watered them both down with a load of thinner medium, and I even put in, just for good measure, a little bit of airbrush thinner, just to really sort of get the watery texture to it, as it were.
That's amazing.
And for the lower parts of the skirt of the Banshee, I've used the Nighthawk Gloom and then added a bit of the Frostheart contrasts where it might be a bit lighter on it, and then for the higher pieces, I've just used the contrast Frostheart, and then for what effectively acts as the clothing on the Banshee, even though you don't see any colour to it, I've used again the Nighthawk Gloom to darken it, just to give it that extra sort of a little bit of a look to it.
Yes, Richard, that's amazing.
Just checking, just to make sure I've got no.
So I'm also nearly done. So the great thing about a transparent mini is you don't have to focus too much. Once you put a transparent colour on it or a contrast paint, it really does sink in. But let's get you killed. Let's get you going next. As you see the body, you have the flash of memory, and you start making your way. And Dibs, no, he's not dead yet. Welcome back to the show. Are you approaching the door, or are you approaching a window? How are you trying to...
I am going to scout this place first, because I'm wanting to find out if there's any other entrances to this place. I'm also wanting to make a examination of the grounds, and I'm looking to see if there's any bodies or any evidence of bodies buried, or a gravestone, grave marker, anything like that.
Okay, so give me a stealth check and an investigation check.
Okay, so stealth. We are a healthy 13.
Okay. I'm now taking some purple violet, just for everyone at home. And I'm going to do that at the bottom, and I'm going to pull them into each other to create a purple to blue blend. Yeah, and the investigation?
19.
19, perfect. There are bodies everywhere. It is horrifying. There are men, women, the children. Most of the people that you are looking for are here in the garden. And as you scout around the building, you find an open window towards the back. Otherwise, the other entrances are the main doors, which is like a double, really lavish set of doors. And there is almost like filigree in words. And what languages do you speak?
Abyssal, Common, Kender Speak, and Primordial.
Okay, so you don't recognise the language. For those of you who are watching, Banshees are always elves. So they are ex-elves, and they are female, and they are elves who didn't use their grace and their beauty for good, but only for ill gain. And their curse is that they are then trapped to look at like a horrible visage for the rest of eternity. But yeah, you don't recognise it. It is Elvish on the door, but you don't recognise that. But yeah, so how would you... Are you going to try and enter the building? There are still bodies missing.
There's no... So obviously these are all... I say fresh bodies. These are recent bodies. There's no grave here, is there? Or any grave markers in the garden?
No.
Right, okay. I will go in through the window.
Okay, so you start climbing your way in through the window, and you enter... after you.
So I am going to have a quick look around visually for anything around the window that could be a magical activation, any carving, any sort of trap-like thing that might be there.
Give me an investigation check, please.
That is a throat clearing 5.
Absolutely clear, buddy.
Jump straight in.
Yeah.
It's all trap free.
You jump through the window and deftly land on the carpet, quietly, stealthily. Nothing goes off through the window, but you find yourself in a drawing room of sorts, a very affluent and beautiful room of elvish design with the most amazing sized furniture, but all of it is covered in drape and cloth and almost like it's not been used in God knows how many years. There is another body on the floor of a woman, probably another teenager, and there is just art of immense beauty on all of the walls, depicting elvish families at dinner or exploring, and you see like a well-dressed elvish man with this brown hair that goes all the way down to their knees behind them, but also wears like the most beautiful robes, and they have a young girl next to them, and they are shaking hands with a dwarf, and there is like a mountain behind them. There is a scene of like a meadow. Yeah, just every like wall has artwork on it, and it all depicts the same family, but it is beautiful. And it's all in like gold filigreed frames.
Can I hear anything? No, sorry, not to light. Can I see anything?
Give me a perception check, buddy.
Anything moving? Anything untoward?
Give me that perception check.
Right. Oh, we are an awful... That's a 4.
4. It's all clear, mate.
I head forward with complete confidence.
Yeah, there's a door on the other side of the room, and it's a long room. It's like 20 foot long, about 15 foot wide, so it's a bit more of a rectangle, but there is a door on the other side of the room, and yeah, you can make your way towards it.
2 seconds, I'm just reading my abilities quickly.
So minus spraying this, I'm done. So this is my Banshee, and we're going to try and get a decent look on that. There we go. So it's still a bit wet at the moment, but we've gone with a purple ink at the bottom, a blue ink at the top, just to give it that ghostly visage of some kind of change of colour throughout it. And I will hit this with a gloss varnish, once that is dried, and what that will do is make that hella more transparent. So I'm going to let that dry while Richard, we have 40 minutes to play D&D.
That's cool. That's good. That will give me 5 minutes just to double check a couple of bits and things.
How is everyone doing at home? How long do you think Richard's going to last? He's not technically, although we rolled initiative, actually entered combat yet. Where do you think this Banshee is in the house? Where do you think Richard's going to meet this entity? And Richard, what do you do?
Okay, so I am going to, because obviously I've not read everything properly. The wild cat, or the black cat, panther-like creature that is my companion, slinks in the door behind me.
Nice. You have a small cat.
See if I can find any stats for it quickly, because it will be bloody attacking.
No problem. No problem. We've got the time, Richard.
I'm also going to expend a spell slot.
Yeah.
To use my primeval awareness ability. So as an action, I expend a ranger spell slot to sense whether any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead are present within a mile of me. Now,
Okay.
What makes me laugh is obviously with the randomness of this creation. So undead are my favourite enemy. Guess what my favourite terrain is, though?
The frost, the ice.
Underdark.
Nice. That's not going to help you this time, buddy.
That's
Hagley.
not going to help me for sure.
So Hagley's just put in chat. She's right behind him. Hagley, if you're there and you have the ability to roll a dice, let me know. Because that's going to determine whether or not there is a Banshee behind him, and then I'll answer his question with his spell slot. Let's get the audience in on this.
That's it. Let's get them drunk.
Because I know the layout of the house. This is actually a dungeon I've used before, because I got it in my mind's eye. So I know where I would. Hagley, could you roll a dice for me, please, and let me know if it's odds or evens? Richard, if it's odds, it's even. Okay. You expend the spell slot and you definitively get a ping in this house. It's not behind you. There's this moment where you look over your shoulder thinking somebody's watching, but there's just your cat. And
it's a panther. It's a bit bigger. There we go.
it's fine. And
I make the hand signal to my beast to sort of look ahead, and it will slink forward using its better hearing and sight sensors to see anything for me.
Yeah. Your sense, I will give you that it gives you a sense that there is something upstairs currently, above you somewhere, but not quite in the same spot as you. And you send the beast forward. The door's still closed on the other side of the room. Ping, ting, 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 ting. You hear something in the house somewhere fall and clatter across stone floor.
No, I don't.
Are you deaf?
But I'm deaf.
Your beast hears ting, 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 as something clatters across the floor, and you watch their hackles go up.
Okay, as soon as that happens, I'll draw an arrow and I'll move forward.
Okay.
I'm going to go for the door.
Okay. You go for the door. Do you open it?
Yes,
Yep.
I do.
You open the door and you are faced with a hallway. And there are rooms on the other side of this hallway. But the main thing that strikes you is that you can clearly see that the hallway leads into what will be that middle section between those two buildings. And you can see like beautiful vases of like large size with dead wilted flowers in them. You see like more artwork of like this family all over the walls. There are like stairs at either end that lead down and also that lead up. There are those central doors in the main entryway, but there is also a single set of stairs that almost go up and to either side as well. How long does your sense thing last? Is it an instant thing or is it a...
Let me check. Traits.
Is anybody else there with dice right now? Or are we just looking at Hagley? If so, I need a D20.
Okay, so as an action, you can expend one ranger spell slot, 1 minute per level of spell slots.
Awesome. 1 minute, perfect. The Mist Lounge, could you roll a D20 for me, please? And if it's above a 16, re-roll it again for me, please. So what I'm doing now is I'm determining which room the apparition is in. Because there are 16 rooms, or 16 possibilities. And because Banshees have the ability to walk through walls, I like to have them drift about until they're interacted with.
You got a dice roll?
We are waiting on chat. The Mist Lounge. Let's go. There is a 10-second delay. I forget that Richard can't see the chat. But 16, yeah. It is a 6 fucking teen. Oh my shit, God, yes. Okay. Trevor, as you enter the corridor, you don't hear shit. But your beast. Hello? Who is it that goes there? Who enters my abode? You hear nothing. But your beast, his hackles go up.
I crouch, and as I've still got the arrow drawn, and I'm eyes everywhere I can.
You see,
I'm very aware of possible things that could go for me. So usually I would find a corner. However, I am going for open space this time, and I'm looking around.
Okay, you head to the open space and stood at the top of these stairs, 16 being the main foyer. There is a visage of a woman, clearly dead. Clearly an apparition, and her hair covers most of her face, and these long elven ears point out from beneath it. And she hovers there, and she sees you enter, and you see the mouth move. And for the audience, why have you broken into my home? Have you come to steal my treasures, my art, my beauty? The panther. Can you read lips at all?
Yes.
Then you see that and you hear, well, you can read the lips and you see that, and they just stare at you, this floating apparition. Give me a perception check.
I don't give it a chance to finish. I shoot.
Okay, cool. Let's make the attack roll then, please, as you loose your arrow, but still give me that perception check.
Perception check. Rolling really well perception. This is my -2 stat. 15,
perfect. So you notice that everywhere that's got like cloth on it, so anywhere that would be like maybe like a bench or a cabinet or a chest of drawers or something, but there's also ones on the wall that cover something, but one of them has slipped off slightly, and you can see behind it a smashed mirror where they're like the frame is, but anywhere that the cloth slipped off, the mirror has been completely shattered and moved away. This, for people at home, Banshees absolutely loathe the sight of themselves. Because they were such a creature of beauty in life, they cannot stand to see their own reflection, and it causes them to go into a rage. So you can have it as like a little dungeon clue as you move through, that there are like broken mirrors everywhere or like glass on the floor and stuff. But yeah, you loose your arrow. What is your attack roll?
So, as I'm loosing, you said I've seen that, and I've seen one of them's covered up.
Yes.
So my bonus action is, as I'm loosing, my mental command is to the cat to go to basically claw that thing off.
Cool.
And get the cover off. Because there's another reason why I also want dry cloth somewhere.
Yep.
I will do an attack roll.
Okay, so you send out the command to your animal. Let's do the attack roll first.
21 to hit.
Perfect. So 21's going to hit. The Banshee has an armor class of 12, so it's really, really low AC. And this is one of those things where we talk about the Magic 3 when we talk about like AC, hit points, and attack. They have a relatively, for a CR4 creature, a very, very, very low armor. But they're not wearing armor. They are incorporeal though.
I can kill multiple things at once.
Yes. So, damage resistance, obviously, is your bow magical?
It is indeed.
Perfect. So, you have damage resistant to acid, fire, lightning, thunder, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks. However, with a magical bow, the arrow finds its target. And roll some damage for me first.
So I rolled max damage, so it is 8 plus 4, so 12 damage.
12 points of damage, okay. As it thuds in, and you see, like, it does travel through them, but at the same time, it's almost like it slows down, and the hand, like, goes to grab it like it struck them, like it would a regular human being. And hello, Absalom, welcome to the show. We've actually already finished painting. It took us about 10 minutes to do the Banshee, so now we're just in pure combat. I'm going to hit play on that bit there again. Yeah, and, like, as they grab it, they're like... And, like, it looks like they wince in pain. You see the arrow go through them. It ting, clatters off the wall, and then ting, 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 like, rolls down the stairs. And they just look at you as your beast then, like, runs across and, like, claws at the fabric on the mirror, which pulls it down to reveal a mirror. And this Banshee just starts screaming and wailing. And it is just an awful, awful sound if you could hear. And I need... anybody, as I will read out the ability. So, wail once a day. The Banshee releases a mournful wail provided that she isn't in sunlight. The wail has no effect on constructs and undead. All other creatures within 30 feet of her that can hear her must make a DC 13 Constitution saving throw. On a failure, the creature drops to 0 hit points. And on a success, a creature takes 10 or 3d6 psychic damage. You are fine. You are not affected by this whatsoever, being deaf. However, your...
The vibrations on my skin bring back the phantom pain of what caused me to lose my hearing. As it was one of these creatures that caused me to lose it.
Okay, but I need a Constitution saving throw for your beast, please.
Yep, that is no worries at all. Right, so con. Oh, goodbye, Panther. Roll a d20. Yeah, that's a hearty 6.
6. You know this sound, and the hair on your skin stands up, like, and you just remember the pain, and you just watch as, like, the beast turns to prowl and towards the Banshee, but the Banshee, and you watch as, like, its mouth, like, opens, its eyes go wide, and just like the bodies outside, fear embraces this being, and you watch as its hair starts, like, its fur starts to turn white in places, almost like Rogue from X-Men kind of thing, where it just starts, and the fear alone, I'm afraid, kills your companion. However, we are in initiative, and this is where it's going to begin. Can you tell me what your initiative roll was again, please?
That was 16.
16. Yeah, mine was pretty high. So you watch as the Banshee... Why do you come here and attack me in my home? Thief, thief, thief. And they just begin flying their way towards you. They just, like, with ease, 40 feet down the stairs, they make their way towards you. And you watch as the hand reaches out and they try a corrupting touch. So this is one of their actions. This is called, it's a melee spell attack, so they get a +4 to this. It's reach of 5 feet, so they need to be next to them. And yeah, we'll go from there. So we're going to roll the attack. That's cocked. That is a 10, +4 for a 14. Misses. You know what's coming. You've faced these creatures before. So I have a Banshee/Ghost figure which has painted white and washed with green base. It's a great figure though. Classic ghost holding a lantern. Nice. Richard is currently painting up these ones. As in currently, he's done. He did it in 13 minutes and 9 seconds. So you're doing the one on the left there, aren't you?
Yeah, on the left, yeah.
Yeah, which is just a stunning one. And I did the WizKids one, which actually I can't even see that with that one up there. And I used alcohol inks. So I'm just waiting for those to finish drying up, and then I'm going to hit that with a clear gloss. I used a purple and a blue, and then I stuck it on a base with some grey and white, and that was it. It was really, really simple.
I don't know how well my camera comes through.
Dude, that's awesome. That's really cool, man.
I'll put some pictures up after the stream.
Yeah, so will I. However, you see that the hand reaching out towards you. The eyes are just black now, like smoke rising from them. as it like screams like the Nazgul towards you. You manage to like just step to one side. I don't think they have any bonus actions.
Okay.
Oh, however, no, that's an action, so we won't do that just yet. Yeah, nope. It is all on you, buddy. Trevor.
Has the mirror had any effect on it?
They haven't looked in it yet.
Right. Okay.
And there is no sunlight. So the stairs coming down, let's say you're at like the base of the stairs and like 10 foot back. Then there's like 20 to 30 foot stairs that goes up, and they've just come straight down towards you. They addressed you from the top of these stairs. There is the smashed mirror on the right, and then the mirror on the left wall is the one that you've just revealed, but they haven't looked directly into that just yet.
Okay. I'm gonna, depending on how close it is to me, I'm gonna use my movement to either move around her within her reach.
Yeah.
If I have to move out of her reach, I have to move out of her reach. But I'm gonna get to that mirror, and I'm gonna be in front of that mirror. I'm gonna pick up the cloth that was covering it, wherever it is near. I mean, there's artwork and stuff on the wall, isn't there?
Yes.
Right. I'm gonna throw it to the nearest other piece of artwork, and I'll probably have to do this with my next go, because I'm pretty that'll be an action, and then I'm going to burning hands it, and I'm going to set this house on fire.
So first of all, yes, they're going to get an attack of opportunity for you to get away. So they will reach out and try and corrupting touch you again.
You're nat 20, mate.
That's a nat 20, buddy. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fun.
Okay, so we are going to do it's 3d6 plus 2. Where's my earth dice? There we go. 3d6 plus 2. Oh, it's not bad.
I can see one. I'm okay. I can see one.
It's a 1, a 2, and a 3. So that is 6 plus the 2. That's 8 points of necrotic damage. It's like you go to run, and their hand just comes through your chest, and you see them like grabbing for your heart, but you just move to one side, and like it like apparates out of your body like fine smoke, like a fog, and you manage to get to the mirror. You grab the cloth from the floor, you launch it towards the artwork that's like maybe 10, 20 feet away, but like the weight of the cloth, this dust cloth it carries it well, and you cast Burning Hands.
You let me do that all in one action, are you?
Yeah, fuck it, why not?
Okay. So that damage, that'll be 14 damage, won't it? Because you said 3d6 plus 2, and it was a crit, so you got to double your damage.
Oh shit, yeah, 14. Thanks for reminding me. Good man, 14. Richard, for reminding the DM about the crit. I would have let that go then. Many players I know would have let that go, but there you are, like, fucking kill me.
Okay, so yes, I'll cast Burning Hands, and I'm basically focusing it on the most burnable pieces I can find.
Yeah, and I'm not even getting you to do an attack roll. Just start rolling damage.
Yep.
Because, you know, you're a level 3 ranger. Hitting a bit
15 damage.
Yes.
That's a 4, 5, and 6.
So the cloth goes up, and then like you watch it starts to lick at the bottom of these paintings, and instantly like the oil in them starts to bubble, and you can smell it. And like the visage of this Banshee is like, no, arsonist, thief, monster. And then they catch sight of themselves in the mirror that you're stood in front of, and they just scream. And their visage just gets worse, and they are going to use their action to do Horrifying Visage. Each non-undead creature within 60 feet of the Banshee that can see her must succeed on a DC 13 Wisdom saving throw. Make a saving throw for me, please, buddy. Wisdom.
I really don't want to do this one. 14.
Awesome.
16 minus 2.
So that's 14, nice. A frightened target can repeat the same throw at the end of each turn with disadvantage. If the Banshee is within line of sight, ending the effect on its successful save. If a target's saving throw is successful or the effect ends for it, the target is immune to the Banshee's Horrifying Visage for the next 24 hours. So you can no longer be affected by the Horrifying Visage now for 24 hours. And you just watch as they almost like begin like trying to tear at their face, and they're like, no, I am beautiful. And then they are just like, they just reach out and they smash the mirror, and glass just falls, but they do not attack you this round. They almost like move back slightly as well, so you're going to get an attack of opportunity if you want it.
Has the fire caught? Well,
it's starting to, yeah. Like within the next 6 seconds, it's going to start going up.
So if I get an attack of opportunity, I'll take it.
Yeah, take it.
Is she too close for a bow? If not, I'll whip out a throwing knife.
I mean, you can use a bow, but it'll be at disadvantage. Because obviously when they move away, they are still within your effective range. So we are looking at like a melee attack, or, you can make it with disadvantage.
Okay, I make it with disadvantage, and I rolled a 23 and a 17, so 17 to hit.
Yeah, definitely, because of that a low AC of that. Natural armor class of 12, roll some damage.
That's 9 points of damage.
Okay, so...
and if she's not attacking me this turn, I'm legging it for the window that I came through.
Okay, so you start making it way down the corridor. What's your movement speed for me, please?
My movement speed is 30. I will attack her on the way out, though, with a spell.
Okay.
And I'm basically doing a shot and getting away.
Well, the shot was a reaction, so that's fine. Then you start your turn, so you can... you're not within range of her, so you can then start running. You got 30-foot movement speed, so like within 10 feet, you get to like the entrance of the corridor. I presume you're going to take an attack there.
Yeah.
Make the attack roll.
Okay, so I use this quite beautifully at the Band of Badgers. All v all. So I'm casting a spell at the same time as I hit him. So I'll roll to hit. And it's a 15.
Yep, that's going to hit.
Okay, and I cast Ensnaring Strike.
Okay.
So as the arrow strikes out, the wood that once remembers being trees and plants begins to sprout all these roots and vines, and they writhe around her corporeal form.
Okay.
Magic, so that it wraps around her.
Okay.
And just needs to make a strength DC check.
Strength DC check. I don't need to make this check.
Okay.
So for people at home, there are some condition immunities for the Banshee.
Oh.
There is Charmed, exhaustion, frightened, grappled, paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, prone, and restrained.
Balls.
But you cast the spell.
I do it anyway.
Yeah.
Actually, would I have known that with my history?
Ooh, roll me an Arcana check. Let's make this a low DC, but a straight roll. The DC will be 10.
Okay, I rolled a 9.
No, you think there's something with magical trapping a ghost that could work, or a Banshee, but...
Well, that's it, yeah, it would work. So I'll do it. The damage is 11 damage.
Okay, cool.
It's a normal attack. The spell's a bonus sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And that goes through. And like you see, like parts of her form are starting to like wisp away, and they're like, "No, I am beauty, I am grace." And they start like, and assuming the rest of your movement is the 20 foot to like down the corridor.
Yeah, I'm getting the block out of dodge. I'm gonna let this place burn.
And you just hear this scream like, "Ah, you cannot leave!" And then they just fly 40 feet right up to you, and they almost like pass through you and to the other side without provoking an opportunity attack, and they're just in your face like there, and they are going to corrupting touch again. So it's going to be a melee spell attack. There's a 14 plus 4 for an 18.
Yeah, that hits me.
Okay, so they just like reach out and they're trying to get into your heart. That is a 6, a 5, and a 2. That is going to be an 11 points of necrotic damage. How are you looking, buddy?
I am not looking great, let's just say that.
Okay, and they look enraged. Their eyes are just solid black. Their hair, like, just, like, stuck almost to their face, but then, like, wisps off to one side. They are just angry. The house is now burning. Like, the corridor that you've now run through, like, the entranceway is now just where the rag and the oil paintings are starting to catch.
As she sort of passed through me and attacked, I've gone full superhero pose. So down on one knee, longbow out to the side, arm up. And as I come back up for my go, I cast Zephyr Strike.
Yes! This is my favourite frickin' ranger spell.
And basically, I kick off from the floor, jump up to the side, and leap around her.
Okay.
I'm going to jump out the window, and as I jump, I'm going to and take advantage on my shot.
Awesome.
With Zephyr Strike.
So they're going to get an attack of opportunity because you're moving.
No, they don't.
Oh,
Zephyr Strike. Zephyr Strike, you move like the wind until
yeah.
the spell ends. Your movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks.
You are exactly right. I'd already forgotten that from one of my favourite spells. They go to like attack you, but you're just too quick. You know what they're going to do, and you manage to get away from them in time. Make your attack, buddy.
Okay. Going for the full-blown, hopefully, I crit.
Roll the
26. My first roll was an 11. I would have missed if I didn't have the advantage.
Make that roll, buddy. Make some damage roll. They're not looking great. They're not looking great. So for those of you at home, the hit points are 58. That seems like a lot, but actually the real damage here is in the damage that they can do and the fact that they can kill a character outright. They can kill a party outright in one turn. But 58's not bad for a CR4 creature. It's in the mid-ground, but yeah, it's with a magical weapon, it should be fine.
I get an extra D8 for the spell.
You do?
I'm rolling 3d8s because obviously 2d8 for the crit, and then because the spell is a dice roll, that gets doubled as well.
Yep.
So it's 4d8 plus 4. It could have been better. So that's a 17, so that's a 21 damage.
Oh! You strike and they almost fade into nothing, but then there's this like pulse of anger. I will kill you! Destroy! Destroy! And they are just holding on.
Oh.
As you make your way into the room.
Making my way down. I'm at the window, I'm at the house.
So you would have to have got through the door, which you probably would have left open. Yeah, 20 foot, and you try and dive through the window. Anything else from you on this turn?
No, I think that was bonus action for the spell, action for the shot, and movement.
Does Zephyr Strike increase your movement at all?
Might be a thing to double check. Oh yes, speed increases by 30 feet until the end of that turn, and I'll use that extra 30 feet, and I'm out.
Because you're going to need it. Because the Banshee.
So I'm 60 feet away from her now.
Okay, because the Banshee, although tied to a place, that tying to it is 5 miles.
Oh.
So, and it is in part of the law. It says, where does it say it? Sorry, bound. A Banshee becomes forever bound to the place of its demise, unable to venture more than 5 miles from there. It is forced to relive every moment of its life with perfect recall, yet it always refuses to accept responsibility for its own doom. So
I plays that quite beautifully, actually, because obviously being a low-level character, I'm pretty sure there was something about being tied. And even in myself, I was just like, I'm going to presume that it's got to be tied to the house. So, so it works out quite nicely.
So you've set fire to the house, you've jumped out of the window, and you just hear that scream again. That as they just rush, they fly, and you just see it. Like as you look over your shoulder as you run, they basically just apparate through the window wall and they start making their way towards you. They do have a flying speed of 40 feet, so they are going to catch up to you as long as they use their action to dash, which they do. Where are you going, coward? You come to my house to steal my beauty, my art, to set fire to me, to kill me. I will destroy you. They can't do anything, though. It is your go.
Thanks for that. Okay, so that is disadvantage. So 19 and 18 to hit.
Hits. Don't worry about any damage, because I'm pretty sure you can hit over a 3.
Just in case, I do a solid 10.
How do you destroy the Banshee?
So as I've used the last of the spell and the speed's left me, I sort of skidded down on the dirt, turned round, and as I'm turning and I've heard her screech up behind me, I've drawn out, take a solid breath, and loose. As it launches, the arrow pierces through her ethereal being into her heart, and it almost disperses her like fog.
And it does, and as she's like, there's like a scream, but this time it's more mournful, and they start to dissipate, and there's almost like, thank you. Like, it's just released at the same time, and it's only just enough that you can hear it. You stand there, and the house burns. Well, a section of the house burns. You can see smoke coming out of like the front doors and out of like one of the windows, but nothing. It's not too bad at the moment. But yeah, it's up to you what you do at this point.
I let the house burn. It is an evil place. Something awful must have happened there, and something awful has most recently happened there. While it's safe, I begin to move the bodies in the yard away from the house, so none of them will be burnt, so that the villagers can come up and identify any dead and deal with their bodies appropriately.
Yeah, and it's very easy to do. You actually, would you search the house for any of the bodies?
What I can get into, yes, I will.
Okay, yeah.
If I know hand on heart she's destroyed, I will begin to sort of search parts of the house that are safe. I'm not going to try and combat the fire or aid to it. I will have a quick search around as best I can. Probably doing that first, actually, just to make use of time.
Okay,
and,
so let's
see if she's got any +5 Avenger swords or anything like that, lying around.
Yeah, so let's get the audience involved again. Who wants to roll me a D6? Feel free, the first person to roll a D6. And put that in chat. And then I'll times that by 3. And that will be how many minutes you get to search the house before the fire is too great. See how quick it catches. Oh, we have a little sip of Earl Grey.
Earl Grey brew.
You want Earl Grey as well, are you? Nice.
Always, since I was a kid.
The Mist Lounge is there with a 5. You get 15 minutes. Give me an investigation check.
Okay, just the one?
Yep, just the one. Flat roll. It's pretty clear.
Okay, that is a 17.
17, yeah. And not only do you find artwork, money, pieces of like statues, carvings, just tremendous. It's almost like a hoard, but of beauty. And
any money to hand, I will grab.
Yep.
To basically give to anyone that has lost a loved one. Everything else can burn.
Yeah, there's like what you see is an open safe which has been rifled, but next to the safe is a decayed corpse of a thief who has like a sack full of like platinum and gold that they were trying to steal when they were killed by the whale, basically.
Give him a quick once over for any weapons. He knew the life. He made his bed. I'll let him be cleansed in the fire.
Yeah, and you find probably a +3 dagger.
Hey.
And actually, I'd say it's like got an enchantment on it that like allows you to lock doors. The crit roll standard. And that's then, cool. Apart from that, you do find the remaining bodies. And in that 15 minutes, you're probably not going to get all of them out, as well as like rifle through rooms and stuff. But you can at least let people. No.
As I say, I'm well aware of what I will be able to get done. I'll make use of the time and do what I can, and then that's it. That's how life goes. So
yeah, and you find gemstones, you find gold, you find platinum. There is jewelry. There is just tons of stuff here, and it's just all exquisite, dwarven and elvish, beautiful trinkets. And yeah, you get what bodies you can in the garden. And by the time that like the building is like properly ablaze, the village, pitchforks in hand, like approach, and they're like, and they try and talk to you, and obviously you're deaf, but they're like, "Thank you, Trevor. You have... I can only imagine what horrors were in there. You have saved us all."
Shake my head and sort of make the symbols, let people know where the others are. And as they're all dealing, they're here, I leave 75% of the gold and wealth there and take a cut for myself, and I'll walk off.
Yeah, and you pocket maybe like 25 platinum pieces. Lovely ring. And we'll call the combat there. As Trevor, the Fire Ganassi Ranger, saves the day and survives. Because you wrote into
not expect to live that fight.
Well, you wrote into your character that you were deaf, and it's like, awesome, sweet, perfect. I'm not going to challenge that as a DM. Like, no, you knew that this fight was coming. No, if you started your game as a level 1 character, and be like, yeah, I'm deaf. I'm like, yeah, cool, sweet, happy days. You can definitely do that. You found a way to communicate. You can read lips. You've got a companion that can hear. Happy days. I'm okay with that. And you played it perfectly, because that whale really is. It's a party killer. between, I think this is probably one of the monsters in this book that can absolutely destroy a party in one turn. It is brutal. So yeah. How's your mini?
And in case you're wondering, Trevor's backstory was he lived in a village, lived in a small town, and the elven baroness, who was all about the greed and rich life, was killed by a lover. And her screech as she became a banshee and saw the mirrors in her house, which was filled with them, rocked the city streets and basically killed nearly enough everyone in the village.
Wow, that's cool. See, and that's what I like. It's like you had a level 3 character that you created literally. I mean, we jumped onto stream 5 minutes before us with each other.
Yeah, we were both late.
Yeah, we were both running late there, and it was just like anybody in the lobby would have seen that like we didn't hit the live button until like 2 minutes to. What I'm going to do though, while I've still got 3 minutes left. 3 minutes.
Oh, get your spray out.
Yeah, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the top end of this mini with some Plastico. It's up there now, actually. This is...
How long does that stuff need to dry, the ink and stuff you've used?
So it's an alcohol ink, so it's pretty dry already. I should really leave this for like 24 hours, because what can happen... And it's
you can make it run.
Well, it's not that it's running, is when you trap moisture underneath a sealer, it goes white.
Yeah.
And opaque. But I'm just going to do this to show you, because I can get another one of these and paint them up in no time. I mean, it took us, what, 20 minutes in total between both of us?
Yeah, that's got to be... I didn't expect it to be that quick. I was quite chuffed with it.
So what I'm going to do is actually, let's bring the camera down so that you guys can see how little I'm going to spray this stuff. And it smells like pear drops. And I shouldn't do it in here where it's not ventilated. So let's bring that down. And I've got like some boards up there to protect my DM screen. I'm just going to give it a little whiz on each side. And then a little bit from the top. That's it.
Is that a cheesecake dish you've got then?
These are, yeah. They're actually cheesecake. These are creme brulees, my friend. You think I love cheesecake, but you think I'm low enough in class to not buy creme brulees? I'm working my way up.
Still have cheesecake.
Oh, I love a cheesecake, but like creme brulee is like, and it's veggie, which is awesome because I miss. The one thing I truly miss about being a meat eater now that I'm veggie is cola bottles. They're my favourite sweet, and I gave them up.
You gave them up? Oh, dude.
Well, it's gelatin. And
gelatin, so.
Lidl here in the UK, I think it's Lidl, are the only place that do like gelatin-free sweets. So that's great. But yeah, the creme brulee, which you would normally have a sheet of gelatin in there, is not. They do it a different way. It's veggie friendly, but you get these little ramekins, and they're great for paint water. And it reminds me not to leave my paintbrushes in there on the tips. However, this will take about 20 minutes to touch dry. But what you'll see is that they are. Let's turn that light on as well. Actually, I realise that I'm working in the dark today. There it is. And we should be able to see it. So we should have. There we go. A somewhat glossy plastic, but it makes the plastic more transparent again.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So that is our upside down Banshee. Let's do it from that way. And yeah, I will get some pictures of that and put them up on Instagram in the next few minutes. But that, we're not even, the alarm's not even going off yet. You get 40 seconds. Richard, dance, sing, fill the 40 seconds, go. Too late.
You can find me and the Dragonborn Bard on Instagram. Drop us a message if there's anything you like. Dices, 3D printing, painting tips, DM tips. Bloody, want to talk about anything Dungeons and Dragons related? You know, we are here. You've got the giveaway. You're doing the giveaway.
We have a giveaway. And what's in that giveaway, Richard? Not only is there a chunky dice, the Neon Blossom dice, there is a Neon Blossom dice tray, there is a bridge, but most importantly, the thing that I think is the coolest. This mother flipping dragon. There's the time, Richard. There's the time. This dragon, Geeky Phoenix, who is one of our moderators, got to see this yesterday in person, and he was just like, whoa. And I was like, yeah, It's fucking incredible. And you could win all of that on Monday night, 8 o'clock. Dragonborn Industries for Dice Masters, the final episode of this season where we are giving away all of this stuff. And I'm excited. Anybody, apart from Richard, can enter, because Richard has donated a prize. And I just think that would be unfair if Richard's like, and I won! So I'm going to ban Richard from entering. But everybody else, if you're a mod, if you're part of the gaming groups and stuff like that, we don't mind. If you're across the seas, if you're in Western Africa, we'll ship it to you. It's not a problem. Richard, I hope you had fun today. Actually beating the Banshee as a single player.
I was quite chuffed with myself, actually. That was good.
Taking a magic item was the clutch move. Taking a magic weapon rather than something like, I'm going to take a ring that protects me from... No.
No. Magic weapon all the way.
Yeah, exactly that. So thank you so much for coming along, and like, well done for painting that in like fucking...
Thank you for having me.
Bullet speed time. It was amazing, and I'm looking forward to getting some pictures of this one done. I'm going to find like a nice like crypt set maybe, or some terrain that's like a manor house.
I say this every week when I see your picture and you put it up with like a background. I was like, I've got to get myself some backgrounds that I can take pictures on.
So, for anybody who's interested, what I use, this is from Loki Battle Mats. So the first thing is like, it's like an immersive GM screen, and I really like this because it's got like a cityscape on one side, and then it's got like a mountain wilderness scape on the other. Or I use their, I've got one down here. This is the smaller one. This is like one of their Battle Mat books. And I use those as like the base or as like the backdrop there. Or I just use some terrain and then use them behind it. And actually I find that it works, really well. And
very good.
That's my little secret. But we're going to close the episode, guys. We're going to finish up for the day. The horror music's coming to an end. I actually had a lot of fun. I really like undead creatures as like monsters because they're fucking awful.
I love undead. A big part of my campaign's recently been undead, and I've tweaked things with kind of necromantic magic is used and cast.
Yeah.
And I have basically the whole different set of it to make it slightly meaner. So it is much more fun.
Yep. But that's where we're going to call Painting Up the Monster Manual. Episode 11 is done, the Banshee. We are back, I believe, next week.
What are we painting next week?
Next week is, are you ready? I think it's the Basilisk. Yep. It is the Basilisk!
Ooh.
I, again, love these.
Do you need a Basilisk?
I do not. WizKids have a Basilisk. I have one over there. And
brilliant.
I know what I'm going to do with it. It's going to be, pretty much the same as the Monster Manual. And they're quite small. They look big in the Monster Manual. They're actually a medium creature. They're like a large lizard. And, again, this could be a party stopper. So we'll have some fun with that one. But...
This is really interesting.
Richard's like, my character's blind. He's blind. Or she. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for taking part. I hope that you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. Have a great weekend. We are definitely back on Monday night for the next episode of Dice Masters, where we will be doing that live giveaway. I will probably be working on some dice, so please come along and see what we're up to. And then me and Richard are back next Thursday for Painting Up the Monster Manual. And I'm unsure of what shows are in between at the moment because we're still working out the new schedule. But until then, may the dice gods be ever in your favour. Later days.
Rock and roll. Have a good one, guys.